Hi guys, welcome back to the Welsh Political Explainers YouTube channel. My name is Lewis, and normally I explain at the start of videos how I'm currently a final fourth year university student studying politics at Cardiff University. However, I can't do that anymore as I finally graduated from Cardiff University over the course of the last few weeks. So obviously leading up to my graduation and the time since, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about my time at university and sort of how things have gone. So I wanted to make a bit of a very different video to the ones I usually make, and I wanted to take a video looking at whether or not I would recommend undertaking a degree in politics and whether I think it's a worthwhile degree area. So with that's sort of what I wanted to focus this video on, really. So yeah, obviously it's much different to the ones that I usually make, but hopefully you enjoy it and hopefully you find it informative. And anyone sort of applying to university through UCAS over the next few months or after the summer in September, I really hope this video helps you out. I know I wish I'd had it when I was looking to apply for university 4 years ago. So for the first part of the video, I wanted to take a look at sort of what a politics degree is like. So I actually took a very unusual route into studying politics at university because I originally applied to study for a degree in business management. However, after studying for the first year of that degree, I wasn't feeling it. It really wasn't the subject for me. So I'd undertaken some modules and done some work as part of A-level business studies. Relating to sort of politics and whatnot, and I'd always really enjoyed that, and it was sort of my favourite area of the subjects that I'd taken. So then I decided that after my first year of business management at Cardiff that I wanted to change degrees and change to a degree studying for a degree in politics. So with that in mind, that's obviously a very unusual route, whereas a lot of other people just apply straight to UCAS rather than changing internally to another degree subject within the university. So after deciding that the business management degree at Cardiff wasn't for me, I then did an internal switch with inside the university and decided that I wanted to change to a degree in politics. And I can honestly say that it was the best decision that I've ever made. I really much didn't enjoy doing the business management degree at Cardiff. Meanwhile, I felt this sort of immediate enthusiasm for politics that I didn't know was possible. I didn't know it was that possible to enjoy and feel that enthusiastic for academic work, because I never had previously. So I would definitely say for people who are even sort of slightly remotely interested in politics that it might be the degree subject for you, because it's something that's quite easy to, it's basically studying how the world is governed and how things operate and various different things. So it's something that can evoke a lot of emotion from people that perhaps some other subject areas can't. So I would definitely recommend initially that if you've got any interest in politics at all, even if you haven't taken A-level government in politics, it might be really something to give a thought of, especially if you're unsure about going to university, because a politics degree is certainly, it's quite malleable. You can study sort of lots of different things, so it might be the one for you. So what is doing a politics degree actually like? Well, it was very different to the first year of the business management degree that I did at Cardiff. Firstly, it really does help if you've done A-level government and politics, although it isn't strictly necessary, as I didn't. Firstly, the first year of the degree will spend largely covering key concepts and ideas that you wouldn't be already aware of if you weren't a political theory nerd, or if you hadn't already done A-level government and politics. Secondly, a politics degree will feature a lot less contact time than some other degrees like medicine or natural sciences, but it does also feature a lot more contact time in comparison to other degrees such as history. Thirdly, a politics degree can be a very varied subject area. So you can cover things in one term, you can cover things ranging from sort of the philosophical writings of Plato and Aristotle to the role of the media in covering contemporary elections, and then to various other things such as the political histories of certain countries, or even sort of the security policies of different countries and organisations during various conflicts. It can be sort of somewhat unrepresentative to group together all UK politics degrees from UK universities, as each university's degree will be very unique, and there isn't a standardised process for university degrees like there are for school subjects, which are governed by the national curriculum, which is set by the national government, as universities are largely autonomous actors that aren't sort of governed in the same way as schools. There also isn't sort of a strict criteria as to what needs to be taught like there would be for, say, an A-level or GCSE qualification. For example, my politics degree at Cardiff will have looked fundamentally different than one done at, say, Glasgow or the London School of Economics, although they will all share common features and first-year modules like Introduction to Political Thought, Introduction to Political Science, or Introduction to Political Economy. So this will give you sort of an idea of what to expect during the sort of first year and then the later years of a politics degree in the UK. There will also usually be a lot of flexibility in the second and third years of the degrees, with you being able to take various different modules from sort of various different things included under the political umbrella. So this could include taking modules on things looking at things such as international development in the third world, or sort of the political and economic theories of different political leaders from history, for example, like Margaret Thatcher or Tony Blair or Clement Attlee. So there really is sort of quite a vast catalogue of things to be able to choose from if you were to choose to study for a politics degree. This flexibility allows you to specialise in certain areas under the political umbrella. For example, I developed sort of a great interest in the political histories of different countries, and so I undertook sort of various different modules which looked at the political histories of lots of different countries. It also means that after the first year, you typically have to take a set of essential modules to enable you to be able to understand a lot of the different modules that you could take in your second and your third year. So these are typically set in the first year and don't offer a lot of flexibility, whereas in the last 2 years, there's obviously a lot more flexibility. So this enables you to not take modules relating to sort of concepts and ideas that you might not like. So for example, after the first year, a lot of my friends really didn't like sort of the economic aspects of areas like political economy. So they didn't take sort of modules relating to international political economy or things that included economic concepts, whereas perhaps I might have, because I didn't sort of have the same distaste for it. So this really allows you to be able to tailor your degree to sort of what interests you the most, and this offers sort of a lot of flexibility, whereas some other degree areas don't. Although I think it can be very important to say that although there is a lot of flexibility with a politics degree at most UK universities, it can be very difficult to make friends who take the exact same modules as you, given the amount of flexibility that there is on a lot of politics degree programs. So it can be very difficult to sort of make friends in each of your different modules, especially if they change by semester like mine did. However, once you've found some friends that take the same modules as you, it can then be very difficult to sort of maintain those relationships because perhaps there isn't as much contact time as other degrees such as medicine or sciences. So I think although there is it's a very, very positive idea, the amount of flexibility that UK politics degrees offer, perhaps it's something to be mindful of if you're someone who sort of needs the routine of seeing sort of familiar people all the time, because the amount of flexibility can be quite difficult. Although said that, if you make friends in the first year, you can perhaps coordinate with them and be able to sort of organize yourselves into modules where you're all in the same modules, and therefore you don't need to make so many different friends because you're able to take the same modules as your friends that you would have made in the first year. I wanted to do this next portion of the video looking at whether or not I would personally recommend doing a politics degree at a UK university or not. Firstly, I think if you're already interested in politics, then that's already a very big idea as to I think you should probably look into doing a politics degree at a UK university. But also, if you're interested in pursuing a career in politics later in life, then I think it's definitely something to look into, as a politics degree would very much set you up to go into a career in that area, if that's what you wanted. Secondly, if you have a sort of strong interest specifically in political history as a specific element of history rather than the overall study of history itself, then I would probably also recommend looking at a politics degree, because the flexibility that I've talked about throughout this video offers you the ability to be able to study the political histories of different countries slightly more than perhaps you would have in a history degree, where there's some different ideas as to what elements of history should be covered. Thirdly, if you want a degree program that is like an amalgamation of lots of other subject areas like economics, history and philosophy, then a politics degree might very well be for you. However, if you only sort of vaguely identify with some of the previous things that I mentioned, then I would suggest maybe looking at whether or not studying for a politics degree really is for you or not. But if some of those things even slightly resonate with you, then I really think that a politics degree could be the subject for you. As if you're even watching this video, obviously, then you're already very much interested or looking into studying for a politics degree. And so I think, you know, giving it some serious consideration and even applying for it could really be for you. Although if sort of you're quite apprehensive about it and feel that it's not for you, then I would definitely think that sort of some further consideration before applying would probably be the best thing for you. Although personally, I would definitely recommend studying for a politics degree, as I very much enjoyed mine, and switching to a degree in politics I think was the best decision that I ever made, and it's definitely made me the person that I am today. So that concludes everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. I know it's a very different video to the ones I usually make, but it covers some really important stuff that I really wanted to talk about. And I wanted to share my experience in relation to studying a politics degree was definitely sort of the best decision that I think I've ever made. By the end of my final year, I was basically a different person, as I learned so much about the world that I otherwise wouldn't have, and that I didn't know was possible to learn. So I would very much recommend, if you've already got sort of an interest in politics, or you even feel like pursuing a career in politics or sort of the civil society sort of area, I would definitely recommend a politics degree, as I think it fundamentally changed me as a person, and to be honest, I don't think I would be the person that I am today without it. So I wanted to give a bit of a brief update as in relation to what my net plans are for the future, as usually at the start of videos I talk about how I'm a politics student, whereas obviously this isn't the case anymore. So I'm actually going to be starting my teacher training as a history teacher at the University of Reading this September, which is in about a month. So I will hopefully then in a year's time be qualified as a history teacher. So I plan to keep on uploading videos. However, they might not be as frequent as they have been over this summer, given that I'm going to have sort of a much more sort of regimented timetable than perhaps I would have during my undergraduate. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was sort of very informative. I know it's very different to the ones I usually make, but hopefully it helps someone out, and I sort of persuaded someone to sort of go into or study for a politics degree if they were very much unsure of doing that, you know, prior to watching the video. Thank you so much for watching the video, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. If you found it useful or interesting, then please share it with another curious friend. I would really appreciate it. Please make sure you should subscribe to the channel, because it'll make sure that you don't miss the next video whenever I get around to uploading it. On a final note, if you're interested in keeping up with me, then I have a Twitter for the channel at Welsh Explainers, and there's also an Instagram for the channel at Welsh Political Explainers. So thanks again so much for watching the video. Hopefully I've inspired some sort of even one or two people to pursue a degree in politics, because I definitely think it was the best sort of decision I've ever made. So thanks very much for watching again. Remember to subscribe and leave a like on the video. So thanks very much again. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.